With the holidays right around the corner, it's time for me to start planning all the festive meals and treats for the season. Frozen Washington red raspberries are the ultimate holiday shortcut to flavor, as they are picked at peak ripeness and frozen within hours to lock in their bright, sweet, tart taste. I love raspberries in my desserts, and boy does this cran raspberry pecan tart sound delicious. Grown by passionate farmers in Washington state, they're frozen with care to ensure top quality and food safety, and it always feels good to support local American farmers. And here's the best part. They're always in season. When you buy American-grown frozen raspberries, you're getting fresh off the field flavor all year long. You can find them at Costco, Kroger, Meijer, and Winco Foods. Make sure to look for product in the U.S. on the bag. Check out True Fruit Mars Hyper Chilled Chocolate-Covered Raspberries and Smucker's Raspberry Jam. Want to learn more details on where to find American frozen red raspberries plus recipe ideas and cooking tips? Head to redraz.org. That's redrazz.org. You'll find participating retailers as an inspiration for every meal, plus info on how these berries go from farm to freezer with quality you can taste.
What's the one thing about your health you wish someone had told you years ago? Well, for me, it's how important the gut is. Truly, the gut is the foundation of overall health and vitality. It's not just about digestion. The gut affects everything from your energy levels and mood to weight management and even longevity. And while most gut supplements contain probiotics or probiotics and prebiotics at best, Bioma contains all three essential ingredients your gut needs. Visit gobioma.com/dateable today. That includes prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics. Each ingredient is science-backed and third-party tested. Just take 2 capsules before breakfast and take the guesswork out of feeling your best. Visit gobioma.com/dateable today for an extra 15% off your order. That's gobioma.com/dateable and get an extra 15% off. Hi, I'm Yue Xu.
And I'm Julie Kraftchick.
We're active daters turned dating insiders.
Here to dive into everything modern dating and relationships.
Welcome to Dateable. Hello, friends.
Welcome back to a very special holiday edition of Dateable.
And how grateful we are to have you with us, and how grateful we are for another year of Dateable. We did it.
I know. We're coming on officially 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
We say 10 years because we've already been doing it before we launched, but we launched in February 2016 officially, and we had been working on it prior to that.
So I'm grateful to be alive, to have experienced 10 years of Dateable. That 10 years is a long time. A lot has happened.
We were so different when we started. I'm just like thinking back to that first recording when we had like a couple of your friends over and they were like eating pretzels, watching in your like studio bedroom bed.
And everyone was single at the time. And now they're the 2 girls that were there. They're both married with kids. It's just such a different life stage right now. And I'm so happy to see where we are now 10 years later. But I'm so grateful for the 2 of us from 10 years ago for wanting to start this.
I think if anyone wants a good laugh, they should go back to season 1, episode 1. We were totally different people.
Yeah.
And I want to know what Kurt is doing. Kurt was our very first guest. Have you talked to Kurt? Because I haven't. Does he even live?
He does not live in San Francisco. I looked him up a few months ago. I think he lives in like Oregon or something like that. I can't remember. But we need Kurt back.
We should have him back. Well, we should totally have him back.
What we liked about Kurt was he was our first guest at, he's a male, but experiencing some challenges in dating that we thought were unique to women. And he was able to kind of bring this like, hey, everyone's going through these challenges and everyone has a hard time in dating. So I actually think our first episode was quite deep for what we're trying to do.
And it was like a lot of mixed signals too, because like the woman that he was dating, it felt like she wasn't really communicating the real issues, like that she
Yeah.
wanted a deeper commitment. So he was just confused. Like he was confused on why she was pulling away. And like as women, we were like, oh, we see what she's doing. We get
Yeah.
it. We've
Yeah.
been there before, but then we also could see the perspective of like, actually, this behavior, this like, cool girl behavior that everything's cool, or just like suddenly you blow up out of nowhere is very confusing and does not
Yes.
foster connection. So I think it was that real bridge of like both parties being able to understand each other better.
I wish we could have found that woman to bring her
Yeah.
on an episode. Maybe we will 10 years later. She's like, who? Kurt, who?
Well, I remember like one of my friends listening, and of course it's our first episode, and she's like, it was really good, but I wanted like more. I wanted you guys to like
Uh,
grill him more and like understand, because it felt like there was like missing parts of the story in the sense of like her perspective. And I
mm,
mean, I think obviously we were newbies to this whole thing. So I think now if it was a different scenario, we'd have a very different take probably on that episode. But maybe listen, let us know. What would you want to, what would you want us to ask? If we could go back to past versions of ourselves. And we also had a male host at the time, Michael Vargas, who we should also get back and have him on an
we'll
episode.
just do a whole reunion 10-year
Yeah.
episode. But 10 years ago when we started this, we had no idea that we would be setting up for something we are launching today,
No
10
idea.
years later. And it is all around this idea of confusion, I think, because, in that first episode, and pretty much every episode where we've had real daters come on to tell their story, all of their challenges are centered around confusion. This not knowing what's happening, not knowing how the other person's feeling, not knowing what you're looking for, that lacking clarity. So we've been just noodling on how can we help everyone through this ball of confusion, but it's just the two of us. So we need to sleep, we need to eat, we need breaks. We can't be in your pocket every day to be like, hey, this is what you should be thinking about. But we did find a way, which is like why I'm so grateful for technology.
Yes.
We can like talk about technology in the worst way, however we want. But what we're launching right now, I think this is such a great use case of what technology can do for us.
I think this is absolutely game changing. And if I had this when I was dating, again, game changing. So I guess we should just reveal what it is. So we are launching an app, but it's not just any app. It
Mm-mm.
is combining the human coaching and the wisdom that we've learned from 10 years of Dateable with AI. And this AI powered dating coach that basically will learn from you, will customize a plan for you based on whatever you're going through, whatever you're sharing. And it is kind of just mind blowing what this technology can do, because it gives you dating advice that's not generic. It's not one size fits all, but it really is using just, inputs that we have had from all our knowledge with this technology to give you something that's tailored for your unique dating journey.
The AI dating coach, it has been trained by us. So this is not it's not advice you get from anybody, but it's trained by us. And also our most popular course, which is the Finding Your Person course that we've sold out for years now. And now we're able to, again, I hate using this word, but scale that course into an app so it's even more accessible for you all. And it delivers the content in a digestible way on a daily basis.
So what's super cool that I think was like mind blowing for me with this was that, of course, like the AI powered coach can give you insights like
Mhm.
as you're going through things. But what else AI does that I think is fascinating is it can customize lessons that are applicable for you based on
Mhm.
like the work that we've done with Finding Your Person. It also can recommend podcast episodes based on what you're going through. So again, this like tailored experience. And I think that's so valuable because like it's hard to go through everything necessarily. And we want to make sure that you're using your time in the most effective way possible.
And something we learned from our Finding Your Person program is that some people learn in a linear fashion
Mhm.
and some people don't. So I'm actually the type that likes to skip around when I'm learning something new. I want to see what is the most relevant to me right now. And with this adaptive AI technology in our app, you are able to do that because it tailors to what you're most interested in. And also, it can serve you the content that it thinks you need the most right now. So think of it as the most customizable dating app and dating workshop that you could possibly get your hands on.
So a couple years ago at South by Southwest, UA and I had this idea for AI-powered dating coach that we would call Yuli. And it would basically be like talking to us, which is still a magnificent name. And I think there were like a couple reasons we didn't bring it into the market. I think part of it was like, it felt like, I don't know, like kind of like there's like icky ways of AI and like helpful ways of AI is what I'm feeling. And I think like trying to like impersonate maybe isn't like the direction we want to go.
Right.
Because like people like are like, no, this really isn't you, you know, we don't want to like say that. So I don't know. I saw some like really creepy demos of like an actual like hologram version of an AI version of you. And I'm like, I don't know. This is kind of weird. I don't know if
Yeah.
we're ready for this. But what I like about this, and it worked out like very serendipitously, that this company called Studio, who's been, you know, they've been working on online classes, and they have like Charlie Path on their platform and, you know, her and like crazy like celebrities that will like teach you how to do certain skills, kind of like a master class. And they've developed this technology and they created this like creator program, which they invited us to join, which is like where it all kind of fell into place. So we're using the technology from Studio. And I think this is actually like a way better fit for like what we were trying to do, because it's like, again, it's leveraging our content. It's leveraging like exercises from you that we've kind of fed based on like AI understanding like what to do in order to personalize. And I think that the using the AI as power to personalize to me is a lot more like authentic and mixes like the human aspect of not just getting like generic AI answers back.
Yes. And for everyone who's been on apps for so long, like any app, you all know what apps involve. And I'm sure you all have questions like, oh, is it like journaling prompts? Is it like classes that you watch? It's all or not. It's dependent
Right.
on what you want. Like, yes, there's gamification if you want that. And if you are not motivated by that, then don't interact with those features. That's what I truly like about this experience, is that it's not like every app, but it is like every app in the way that you get to pick and choose what you want and how you want to learn.
By far the coolest part of this, and like there's so many cool parts of this. I like can't stop talking about this to all my friends because I just think it's so game changing. None of them need it because they're all married, but I'm like, if you were single, please, like this would have been the coolest thing ever. I think though, one of the things that actually you had this idea too, and I get it. This is like why we're so glad that we could partner with Studio, because they were the technology. Like UA and I are not like AI developers. We're not going to like pretend that we are. So it's better for us to like partner with people that are, you know, building this technology, that engineers that know what they're doing. And you had talked about a while ago, like how cool would it be to have a journal where you could just talk? Because part of like journaling is so hard to like sit down and write. And I know there's like benefits of writing. So if that's you, not saying don't do it, but like a lot of us struggle with that.
Yeah.
And
I can't even read my own handwriting.
No. And I know like doing this podcast with you has been so therapeutic.
Yes.
And there's a reason why talk therapy works so well. And not everyone wants to start a podcast and air out all their dating life on air to like millions of people. So what is cool about this is that this AI journal, like you can write if you want, again, what you want to do, or you can talk. You can literally talk into it. And the technology will like understand what you're saying, be able to pair it with work that we've done and give you back feedback accordingly. And the coolest thing about it is we wanted to figure out like how can we track progress, because if you've been with us long enough, we don't believe going on many dates is tracking progress.
Yeah.
It's not a numbers game. So what we've seen though is like your mindset around dating. If it's negative, you might as well not be dating.
Yeah.
So we have this score that basically can analyze like what you've said and written and share with you like what is that mindset score, like the positivity aspect, and like where is some of that negativity seeping through that maybe we don't even realize. And I think that is like one of the coolest things ever, because we just
Yes.
don't know sometimes, and like our friends aren't going to tell us, or maybe they don't even know what sounds negative. You know, everyone's just like shit talking dating and whatever.
Yeah, and this is where technology is really shining right now. I think this is why we need technology, because it can do this progress tracking and it can also build you insights. I know that when I used to journal, I would not look at the journal entries ever again. It was just more of a way to get my thoughts on paper. But now, when you journal, whether you're doing text journal or audio journal, our app will give you AI insights that will show you some of the patterns of behavior, identify maybe areas that you are overlooking, or identify areas that you are really crushing. That way, you don't need to be doing the work of synthesizing, oh, what is it that I learned this year? Our app will do it for you.
And of course, like what I think, another thing I think that is super cool, or I guess a challenge with coaching in general, is sometimes like you need it immediately, an answer. If you're in the thick of, you know, what should I text back? Or how do I approach this person in real life? Like when you're out at a bar, your dating coach like can't be there with you.
Right.
You'd have to schedule something, or a therapist even. Like you'd have to schedule something like 2 weeks out or whatever time it was, or wait till your appointment came around. What I love about this is that like it can be there whenever you want. It's literally in your pocket 24/7, and it's like you have a coach, therapist, wingman all in one. And again, not a replacement for therapy or even like talking to a human, but I think it's maybe different things. Like I hope we're not talking to our therapist of like what we should text back on a date. Like let's save the big stuff for like the actual human interaction.
And if we're going full circle talking about Kurt, if Kurt had this tool back in the day, he would have come on our podcast and told the story, but he could have also just taken out his phone, taken out the app and asked some questions like, do you think I'm getting mixed signals? Like, what is happening here? And our AI insights will say, based on your previous entries, it does sound like there's a little bit of mixed signals. Why don't you ask for clarity or something like that? Like I can see him getting out of that ball of confusion so much faster than when he was on our show, because he was still dwelling on what's going on.
He was, but the relationship had already ended by then.
Right.
Because that's the thing. It's like too late at that
Yes.
point. And again, like I'm all for like unpacking, like, either with people like us or therapists, like unpacking like the larger vision of like what's going on and what patterns and like challenges persist. But I think for these like kind of like situational things, like it's just not realistic because it moves too fast. We would see that even with like Sounding Board, right? Like when we would do like the weekly sessions for people to ask questions, they were like, yeah, this is my question, but I had it like 4 days ago and I'll ask it now, but it's kind of like already come and gone. And that's just like the reality of dating is like, you're not gonna be like, okay, let me just like hold this for a week till I have my like weekly session.
Right. Yeah. And then hopefully it'll help you get out of it. Get out of the zone much faster so you can move on with your life and do something much more productive. So I wish I had this back in the day. I still think there is a use case for something like this in like relationship coaching too.
Totally.
But we'll start with dating. We'll start with finding your person, and it is available now. So you can get your hands on this by going to studio.com/dateable.
And there's a special launch price, which also corresponds with Black Friday. So 20% off by Black Friday, November 28th, if you go and do this now. Go to studio.com/dateable if you want to learn more, or you can always go to dateablepodcast.com to find all this stuff. It's all on our website too.
Yay! So again, this 20% off is only good until the 28th. So you don't have much time. Get on it now.
Awesome. Well, that was that was a big one that we've been working on for a bit now that I'm glad we're getting out into the world. But we want to use this episode to go into a bit more about what we're thankful for when it comes to our personal selves, but then also just like dating as a whole. Like, what are some ways that we can look at dating differently through this grateful lens? We had a very popular post on Instagram, actually, that was a little cheeky, but I think that's like probably why it was popular. And it was like talking about like things that we're grateful for. Like, for instance, I'm grateful for the good morning texters who never actually make plans. You reminded us to raise our standards. But we were like, let's do an episode of just like, what is it? Because there is some truth to that. Like, even though it's cheeky, raising your standards or being reminded to is actually a very good lesson.
1,000%. And if we look at everything as glass half empty, then it's hard to be grateful. But if we look at, everything in life that happens for us, then that's a glass full mentality. And I think there's so many things for us to be grateful for. No matter how challenging life can be, it is still such a beautiful experience that we get to go through.
So there were 7 that we came up with for dating as a whole. We're going to go through these really quick, and then we'll go into just our own personal gratitude and leave you all just, hopefully feeling energized and excited about the year to come. I think during this season, there's a lot of really wonderful moments, but then also some hard ones too. I think a lot of times we're with family that maybe asks too many incriminating questions, or you see that maybe you're the only single person at the table. I know that used to be like a thing that I would be like, oh my God, everyone here is coupled up and I'm still the only single person. And it's like one of those things that you're like, it sometimes draws attention during the holidays, but it's also like a really fun time and a really great time to be single too. So yeah, we're excited to go into it.
Something we all can be grateful for is clarity. And clarity can show up in so many different forms. Clarity for me, when I think back to when I was dating, is when someone says, I don't want to see you again, or this is not a fit. I'd much rather have that clarity that this is not a fit than someone who ghosts me, someone who still sends me the good morning text, but don't actually make plans. That's the type of clarity I look for now in my life, even when I'm not dating. I want to know, like, if this friendship is working or not. I want to know if this project is working or not. Clarity is my priority, and I'm so grateful for whenever I can find it.
Yeah, I'm also, I think, being grateful for the lessons, not just the love. I know this is something that, like, when I started to shift my thinking into dating is actually the best tool to shine a light into what's going on for me, that dating is a mirror. It really changed the way that I viewed some of these setbacks or rejection. So instead of being like, oh my God, this stupid ghoster, like they, what the fuck, I hate everyone. It could be like, okay, I realize I really need someone that prioritizes me. I need someone that speaks with clear communication and doesn't just disappear, because I maybe have a prioritization wound and something from my childhood may have triggered that. And it's something that is a huge priority for me as I date. Having that knowledge and intel is such a gift, and that I really fully credit like those experiences, and turning this into learning, using dating to reflect is what helped me suddenly prioritize the right things. So then when I met someone that could meet them, it was like abundantly clear. You attract what you seek. So if you're always thinking that like everyone's going to flake or everyone's going to do X, Y, and Z, or people are terrible, that's like what you're going to find. But if you're like, oh, actually I want someone to prioritize me, suddenly all the people that prioritize you show up. Or if they don't, you're like, okay, next.
And if you do feel like you're being prioritized, something we can all do is speak it out loud. And when someone shows their appreciation for you, be grateful for that too. There are times I held back like, oh, I really had a good time, but I didn't want to tell this person because I want to play the games. Like, imagine how good it feels for someone to say, I had a really good time tonight, or thank you so much for dinner, or I missed you. I want to see you again. Those make us feel so good. So let's practice more of this speaking out loud our appreciation for each other.
And I think we can even thank people when it ends. Like a simple
Yes.
message like, thanks for spending time getting to know me, or I appreciate your honesty. I feel like that leaves the emotional integrity intact. And like
Mhm.
being mature and, this gives you like this quiet form of closure that I think is something that I really like appreciate, that you can get that from within instead of relying on others to give to you.
Right. Don't rely on others because you can show so much gratitude for yourself. That is such an empowering feeling is thank yourself. Be proud of yourself for staying open. Be grateful that you believe in love. Be
Yeah.
grateful for the person that you've become. And don't wait for someone else to be grateful for you because you can already offer that for yourself.
The next one is noticing the small moments. This, I think, is really game changing because instead of focusing on the larger, end goal of finding love, you can be like, oh, well, this date, maybe they're not the one, but we had a really good conversation. I
Yeah.
went to a really cool bar that I'd never been to before. We were laughing and it was fun to like feel that connection with someone, or I really felt myself around this person. I think just like having these micro wins, like I'll always think of that episode we did with Drew, his win folder. And it
Yeah.
was like, yeah, like maybe I don't have what I want fully in my love life, but let me like appreciate the small moments. And again, it's what you're thinking about. Like that energy exudes outwards. So if you're like
Mhm.
having this like feeling of gratitude, you go into a date in a much more positive headspace than focusing on everything that's like not going well.
Yeah. And we can always use gratitude to reframe challenges or frustrations that we'll have because it's so easy. Misery loves company. It's so easy to get stuck in that social media spiral of dating sucks. Everyone sucks. Nobody good out there. There's nobody good out there. And that's the lazy brain thinking. But if we actually engaged our brains, then we can reframe it all and say, I'm grateful for all the people that I've met. And not all of them have worked out. They're not meant to work out, but everyone has come into my life for a reason. And I'm grateful for them making an imprint.
And then last but not least, gratitude for timing. I think sometimes we always feel like we're running out of time or we're
Yeah.
wasting time. But I think having a gratitude for timing and being thankful for what you're getting in the moment, like, okay, maybe I
Yes.
haven't found my person, but I'm so thankful for the space it's giving me to prepare for it. I'm using this to better myself. I'm using this to develop my relational skills. I'm using this to learn how to confront conflict and like all the things I know eventually I'm going to need, or I'm just building up a freaking awesome life. Like I
Yeah.
feel like now, like in retrospect, that I've met someone later, I'm really glad that I had that time to like build my own identity. And not to say like you can't within a partnership, but it's different. And I think just appreciating different moments for what they are is, you just don't get that time back, right?
I think even your Substack about getting married in your 40s. And I just
Yeah.
think like trusting your timing and letting go of that social script and being grateful for the moment that you've arrived. I also think about it is so relative. Like when we had Mei Lee on our show, she was first engaged at 54. Like, relatively speaking, she's like, you think you got married later? I'm getting
Right.
married
And
much
then there's
later in
someone
life
that's
too.
later than
And
her.
then
Yeah.
someone who's like, I just got married in my 80s, right? It doesn't matter. That's so subjective. Who cares if you think it's earlier or later? It is so subjective, but it is all about you just trusting that the universe delivers to you what it's meant to you and when it's meant for you.
I just don't think I would have the level of partnership that I had. For me, not to
Yeah.
say that you can't have
Hmm.
it in your 30s or younger, but for me, I was not there yet. I was not emotionally mature and aware and all the things. And I feel like, I mean, I think I've learned a lot even in a partnership, but I needed that time to develop. I needed doing this podcast. I needed to like I said, use my voice to like journal and heal.
Yeah. Or for some of you who maybe met your person early on in life, you were meant to meet that person.
Yeah.
Like, don't, you were meant to meet the wrong person and learn from that.
Right.
And now you're getting out of it. Everything, I think, has a gratitude spin to it if we choose it that way. Love is a choice and gratitude is a choice. And these are all choices we can make today.
And I want to go into what we're grateful for, because we have so much to be grateful for. And I need to remind myself that too, because I've just transparently been in a little funk lately. So I think doing this gratitude episode is also self-serving and it's helping me as we talk. But I'm hoping it's helping a lot of other people. Before we get to that, though, let's take a minute to hear from our sponsors.
As the air turns crisp and the holidays draw near, comfort becomes the best gift of all. And Quince delivers layers that last: sweaters, outerwear, and everyday essentials that feel luxurious, look timeless, and make holiday dressing and gifting effortless. And Quince has it all, from $50 Mongolian cashmere sweaters made for everyday wear, denim that never goes out of style, silk tops and skirts that add polish, and down outerwear built to take on the season, perfect for gifting or upgrading your own wardrobe. Now, I know I live in warm Southern California, but I do love wearing cashmere, and the Quince short sleeve cashmere sweaters are my go-to. They're just the perfect layering piece, and they truly elevate every outfit. Step into the holiday season with layers made to feel good, look polished, and last. From Quince. Perfect for gifting or keeping for yourself. Go to quince.com/dateable for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/dateable to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DATEABLE. All right, fellow romantasy lovers, I've been waiting to talk about this one because it completely took my weekend. The epic romantasy finale, Dawn of Chaos and Fury by Melissa K. Rorick, is finally here. And if you're into anything Book Talk is raving about right now, you need this. This is the fourth and final book in the Legacy series, a dark romantasy packed with fae, dragons, shifters, vampires, witches, meddling gods, you name it. And what I love about this world is that it's not your typical medieval fantasy backdrop. Think high fantasy meets modern tech. Magic everywhere, but people are still texting, driving, dating, using computers. It gives big Crescent City vibes in the best way. And honestly, I got so pulled into the emotional roller coaster. The heroine is dealing with depression and anxiety, and the way the story handles her mental health made the stakes feel so real. Plus, the tropes. Fated mates, morally gray chaos, one bed, touch her and die. It's basically a Book Talk bingo card of everything we love. Now, if you haven't read the series yet, this is the series finale, so don't start here. But the good news, all 4 books are out now, and they make such a great gift for that friend who is constantly reading romantasy and keeping up with every online book trend. Dawn of Chaos and Fury is on sale now, available for the first time as a Kensington trade paperback and ebook. So grab your copy and dive into the chaos. You can find Dawn of Chaos and Fury by Melissa K. Rorick wherever books are sold in print and in ebook. I'll start with my gratitude, which is I am so grateful for this book writing experience with you, Julie.
Okay.
Even though it was a roller coaster of a ride, and even though it's a lifelong journey, we know that we're going to keep selling the book for the rest of our lives. But just having the experience of writing, creating, and birthing this baby is sort of once in a lifetime. And
Yeah.
to do that with you, I'm so grateful to have gone through that experience with you and to now be coming up on almost a year since we published the book.
I think that's a really good take on it too, because it's easy to get focused on like the outcome of like how many books did you sell and are you on the New York Times bestseller list? But the fact that like we put our knowledge out there and we're getting messages from people every day that are like, this book is super helpful. It's made me think about X, Y, and Z differently. To me, that's like so worth it. And it's a good reminder all the time of like the labor of love that goes into things and the process and what you're learning from it, not just like the outcome all the time.
And you all have to understand, in our circle, it feels like everyone has a book. So sometimes we do diminish our accomplishments because it feels like, oh yeah, everyone got a book deal this year or everyone's written a book already. But I have to be reminded because I reminded every day by my good friends, like, you published a
Yeah,
book. It is a
I know.
fucking big deal. And it is something most people will never do in their lifetime. So we have to be really
Yes.
proud of ourselves. And sometimes Julie and I have to like pump each other up because it is so hard to just get in a slump about it.
So I was going to say that as my gratitude. I was going to say I'm grateful for you, UA, because for many reasons. I think first of all, like when I came to you and was like, I think I'm ready to like leave my corporate job and do Dateable. Like, first of all, you were so supportive. You figured out a way for it to work with us and to like trust me with some of this stuff. And I think that, first of all, just so grateful for you being a friend, but also a great business partner and all of that. And I think too of this piece of it's a roller coaster doing creative work sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not always the most stable of professions, I've
Yeah.
learned. And I think just like having like another person there that's in it with you
Mm-hmm.
that can pick, like, I think you and I have done this throughout the 10 years. Like, there's been certain times where one of us feels maybe like a little more discouraged or
Mm-hmm.
feels like more motivation to like do things. And it's kind of like having this other person to be accountable to, but then also to motivate you when you're maybe feeling a little down.
Mm-hmm.
It really has what's kept us going for all these years.
Yeah, I mean, this is what a partnership is all about, right? And I think the book is a culmination of what our partnership proved, but it it is truly like navigating the ups and downs together.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna cry. No, just kidding. I won't cry. But I'm also just really grateful for the Dateable community that we've built
Mm-hmm.
and grown. I think everyone that has been with us since the beginning is at a different stage in life now, and it's so
Yeah.
fun seeing everyone's changes. But at the core of it all, the people who've been with us since the beginning truly believe that we're doing something right. And
Mm-hmm.
we can't be any more grateful for you all because without your belief in us, we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't have hung around for 10 years. But even if some of you are married and have kids and you're on to a totally different stage in life, for you to still hang in there with us because you believe in our mission, we owe you everything because that is what's building the Dateable brand.
But even just seeing people in these different life stages, it's kind of remarkable. Like when we look back to like the pandemic, I'm using that as an example because I feel like that's when we really got to know our listeners because everyone was so active in Facebook groups during the pandemic and everything was online. It was like putting faces and stories and hardships and challenges and
Seriously. Yeah.
everything. And we really got to know people. And we're going to have a lot of them back actually next season because I think it'll be fun to check in with them, but so many of them, I would say like probably like close to 100% of the people that we've really worked with and helped are
Yeah.
like in amazing, incredible
Yeah.
relationships. And
Yeah.
that is just, it's mind blowing.
So wonderful.
Okay, maybe we can turn to some personal stuff
Yeah.
now.
Let's do it.
I mean, I'm grateful for my partnership for sure. Like, that is definitely, I mean, it's been a big year that we got married and we've had a
Mhm.
lot of like progression in our relationship, not just like, I don't know, like not just the physical sense of getting married, although it does feel like it feels the same and different at the same time, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Like it feels like we're more of a unit, but like also on a day to day, it doesn't feel any different. I think what I'm grateful for though is just, yeah, like this deepening of connection that's happened through it all. Like I
Mhm.
look back to like when we first met like 4 years ago, and it's like, or I guess, yeah, 4.5 years basically. And it was like amazing and fun. And I felt so like comfortable with him even from the early stage. But looking at that versus now, like the level of comfort is so different. Like the
Yeah.
progression into just like true love, it's like unmatched. And I mean, I've never had this experience in my life. Like I've definitely felt like I was in love before, but I've never had this deep level of partnership. And I'm really
Mhm.
grateful to experience that and be able to, be that person for someone else too.
Yeah. To be in a unit together that's the North Star, right? It's like to be a team together. That's That's a North Star of a relationship. And it was so fun to witness your journey this year of getting married because, until you do it, you don't know how you're actually going to feel. And it does feel different, even from a friend's perspective. It just feels more, solid, I guess.
Yeah, it's more integrated into family. I think that's an area where I definitely feel it.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like I have to be grateful for my partner because
I'm grateful for your partner because I think he's amazing.
I know I have this problem where I don't like to recognize my partners very much because I don't want to give them too much credit, but I will give him a lot of credit for really wanting to take care of me. I mean, this man, my house got broken into this year and Julie was there when it happened while we were out. But someone broke into my home and took some shit. But immediately my partner came over like the next day and Fort Knoxed my entire place. He put on sensors and this entire security system and cameras and all this stuff. And he's like, I cannot let anybody hurt you. I cannot have your life be in any sort of danger. That's the first time I think outside of my parents where I felt truly taken care of. Someone wants to take care of me and protect me, and it's such a priority. So yes, it took a really terrible event for me to feel that. Through and through, I know that he's there for me and he wants to make sure I am safe all the time.
I mean, as someone that has now, this is the third partner that I've experienced you with.
Oh my gosh. He's number 3, contestant number 3.
Third time's a charm. But I think by far you're the most yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that to me is a test. He brings out the best sides of you. Mm-hmm. And I think that we've heard this before. It's that's what you should be looking for when evaluating your friends' partners at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think there's that. But I also really like him as a person. And we were talking, my partner and I was talking about which ones of my friends' partners do we like?
Oh my gosh, it's so terrible. Such a terrible.
We rank them sometimes.
I love that you rank order them. I don't even want to know the rank order. Please don't publicize.
I'm just saying he was on the near the top. I mean, he was tied. But he was up there.
Okay, don't tell me who he tied with.
Because I mean, I think you could probably guess. But anyways.
We're pretty competitive, so it's better for us not to know. Because we might do some things to knock him off.
No, but I was saying, I feel like every time I hang out with your partner, I like him more and more. Just, really like him a lot.
Yeah, and he's someone who takes time to get to know him.
Yeah, but I think sometimes that there's depth to those types of people.
Yes, that's for sure.
And after all, he's my partner's other brother.
We were out at dinner the other day and there was a guy that looked just like your partner's brother. And I was like, your brother's here.
There was this joke at the wedding. One of our friends was like, oh, is Yue bringing her boyfriend? I'm like, he was literally at
he's
the
right
rehearsal.
Next to her.
When we were there and she was there and she's like, oh, I thought that was your partner's brother. And I'm like, no, the other guy that looks like him is. So it became this joke that there's 2 guys that look the same that are both my partner's brothers.
If they stood next to each other in the same room, you can tell the difference. But if they're in separate rooms at separate times, you really feel like this person's just everywhere. Why is this person everywhere? And then our friend was like, why is Yue introducing the partner's brother, the husband's brother to everyone? It's so
just
weird.
What do you mean is she bringing him? He was literally in front of you for an hour. What?
And the best part is his wife is Asian. So it's the 4 of us could be everywhere all the time. And you would just not even think anything of it. It's
amazing.
There they are. They just changed their outfits.
It's the stunt doubles.
Yeah, stunt doubles.
Bring him in, switch him off.
I wonder how many people got confused that night and try to continue a conversation with the wrong couple.
And I guess that brings me to my last piece. And I also recently, my last gratefulness, there's a lot of things I'm grateful for, but I think the one thing was, I feel in wedding season, you actually see who really shows up for you.
Uh-huh.
And like, I don't know. I had like, I remember talking to like a friend of mine who's not married, and she's like, oh, by the time I get married, like everyone's going to be like not down to do bachelorette parties, not down to do anything because they all have kids. And I feel like the actual experience was the opposite. Like people like
your friends are down.
rallied. And I feel like there was a benefit of having your wedding in your 40s, because in your 30s, you're going to like weddings like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And in your 40s, you haven't gone to one for a while.
Yeah, you like look forward to one.
Yeah. And people were like into it. So I think, I mean, there was that, but I think also like all like my bridesmaids and then you as the officiant, like I think like you as the officiant, everyone has said like it was like one of the best weddings that they had ever heard and like been to. And like my parents are still like raving about it. They just like loved it. And I mean, like it was honestly all me and my partner could have ever wanted from the experience.
I am officially in the family. I am a craft chick now. No, I still think about the time we had Allie. So Allie and Julie were meeting me at my work.
Oh my
And they were at like the security gate.
Allie Goldberg, for anyone that doesn't know.
Allie was driving. She hosts the show Love Isn't Blind. And she was driving. So the security, she presses the intercom. The security's like, who are you here to see? And she's like, Yue. He's like, what's her last name? And she's like, Julie?
She's like, I'm so used to saying like Yue and Julie. Julie? But I was in the car with her.
She had like no idea.
I was like, shoot.
Yeah, she's like, never thought about me with a last name because I'm a craft chick, obviously. Didn't she know?
But the best part is it worked both ways. Like it's either Julie and Yue or Yue and Julie. Neither of us have last names.
Yeah. We don't have last names. We just have each other's first names.
Yeah. I mean, no, I think it just like did make me really appreciate friendships. And I wrote this article about it because I think like in your 40s, friendship changes a lot. Like you just don't see people to the level that you did once upon a time. Like I feel like in my 20s, I was seeing people like literally even 30s. Like it was like every week. Like, remember we were doing Roundhouse, or not Roundhouse, that was a different group. We were doing the Weekday Warriors. that was pre-UA. Roundhouse Wednesday was a different one. We were doing Weekday Warriors, remember? Yeah. Every week we got together. Yeah. Like, and you and I saw each other more than that, but like at a minimum, like in a group, we were seeing each other once a week. And I was seeing people in that group like probably like 2 to 3 times a week. And it's just like different now. And I mean, I feel like we'll never forget those memories. And I love when we like can just sit on the couch and like drink wine and recap them.
Yeah.
But I think in your 40s, your friendships offer like a different depth. And I think like what I saw like during this season of life was just like so heartwarming. Like some of my bridesmaids, I realized like Kate and Tara, like 2 of my friends from college, we've known each other for like 25 years? Yeah. That's crazy. Am I doing the math right? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, since 2005. Like, yeah. Since freshman. 2001. Yeah.
Since being freshmen in college.
That's crazy. And then like at a minimum, like it was like I think you were like one of my newer friends in that group. Like you and my friend Melissa, who both of you are like 2 of my best friends, but it's been like 10 years.
10 years.
That's still
I know. That's a newer friend. Yes.
I know. It's crazy.
And thank you I'm grateful for the opportunity to dress up again. I don't think I just remember like in SF, you and I used to go to all these galas and stuff and we'd get dressed up and be like, oh, getting dressed up again. Now I'm like, any excuse.
I know.
It's so nice to see everybody dress so nice. It just makes the environment so much more elevated and pleasurable to see.
Yeah. I mean, I think just like, again, just like the amount, I know like people put in a lot of time and energy into like the bachelorette party and like 19 girls showed up. Like, it's just like, it's really heartwarming.
Yep. And you're going to have all those friends for your big 50th, if you're going to do a big 50th.
Actually, Yue, I've been thinking. I feel like since you missed your 40th, because of COVID, I feel like we should do a 40th before 45. I was thinking about this the other day.
Which would be like the next 2 months.
It's coming up. That's why I'm bringing it up. But I feel like we had talked about like, I remember you were like, I really want to do this big 40th. And I feel like everyone
I
else got
know.
that. And it was like the
I
timing
know.
sucked.
I
Just putting
actually
it out
thought
there.
about, yes, my friend Emily and I were talking about hers. She and I are the same age. We got screwed on her 40th, but then we were like, should we wait till our 50th? And then we're like, no, because that's a whole 5 years away. So we should do it for our 45th. We actually had the same thought. It's
Okay,
just
I mean,
takes so much thinking, though. It's just like, oh.
well, if you need someone to help plan it,
Okay.
I'm in need of planning again.
Maybe a virtual thing. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of work. But I've been
No, we
thinking
can
about
do
it.
better than that.
I have some ideas, but I've been thinking about it.
Okay.
Yes, we're on the
Think
same
about
page. Yeah. Oh, to be
Pull it
40
out there.
again.
Yeah, it
When
could
I
be
was
like
young.
a 40 redo or something. Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Well, so
Aw.
much to be grateful for. And what are you all grateful for? We'd love to hear some of the ones that you have. Leave us a review, put them there, comment on Spotify, tell us what you're grateful for, or send us a DM or email if you don't want to put it publicly. That's totally fine too. But like seriously though, like we are a little bit in a silo. So if you have read the book or you do listen to this podcast all the time, like write us and tell us what you've learned, because that really is what keeps us going and doing this for a decade. And we'll continue to do it even longer because of that.
Yeah, and once you try out the app,
Yes.
you're going to be blown away by how cool things can be. And like with our 10 years of experience and putting it into technology, and just go to studio.com/dateable.
And also, How to Be Dateable is on like mega sale right now on Amazon. It's
Mega.
the lowest price we've seen because of this time of year. Everyone slashes the prices this time of year. So make sure to go get it if you haven't yet, because this is the time. Also on audiobook.
We have no control over pricing,
No.
by the way. It's not like us slashing the prices.
No.
So we have no idea when this happened and when it's going to go away. So I would
Yep.
get on it right now.
Well, should
All
we
right.
wrap up in true dateable fashion?
Here we go. Wrapping up this episode.
Stay dateable
Grateful.
and thankful.